Hello, everybody. How are you this evening? It is your Sheperd Sieg, joined by the one and only Commissioner Rhino, and tonight we're going to talk to you about free agency impacts on the NFL draft. Before we do that, just want to go through some house cleaning notes. First note. Um, is for you guys to be aware of this super goal of ours. We are
Yeah.
trying to get to 500 subscribers. Well, it doesn't. Okay, you know what? It is going to begin tonight. It began. It began last Friday. That was our last show with the great Derek Brown, Debo. But it is underway. 500 subs, and I think the goal is going to be to get these 500 subs by the grace of the good lords of fantasy. What's a good date? What would you say is a good date? I mean, like, look,
Labor Day.
Labor Day. All right, I was pretty much thinking the same thing. I was thinking kickoff, but Labor Day. It's
Well, that's pretty much kickoff because in
it,
that
it,
Thursday.
damn near the same thing. So that's fine. That's all well and good. All righty. So yeah, that's our goal. We really appreciate you helping us get there. That's number one house cleaning note. The second house cleaning note is there is no second note.
Not yet. We're working
How
on it.
how about that? But rather house cleaning. Hi, Sniper. How are you? Good luck tonight, dear. Sniper's drafting before we're drafting. Where does that go? I mean, look at that.
Before the draft?
Well, she has a draft.
Said she has a draft pretty soon. Yeah.
Yeah, she's drafted in March. You know what? I've drafted in March before. I've drafted even earlier
Right.
for a subsequent season. I wish you nothing but the best. What's the pick? Or you can tell us the pick when you have a chance. Um, we will get to. Let's get to the big news that broke over the weekend, and then there's a small smither of news that actually has to do with the Green Bay Packers signing. They signed MVS. Did I read that correctly? Or,
I didn't see that.
yeah.
When did they do that?
No, I'm sorry, not
Oh,
MVS. McCole Hardman. I'm getting my Kansas City Chief wide receivers crossed
so
up.
that's the only Kansas City Chief that didn't get re-signed was Hardman.
McCole Hardman.
Interesting. Another wide receiver 3.
Yeah, it's not really moving the needle for anybody, really.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
I think, well, it's certainly not for fantasy. We could talk more about how or what the Green Bay Packers are going to have to need to do on another show. Because right now I want to kind of stick with the dudes, the teams that are in the early portion of the draft. Um, because a lot of what they do is still being determined by free agency.
Yeah.
Specifically, one person is kind of sort of holding it up. Aaron Rodgers is holding it up.
He is. He's holding things for hostage. Do you see the James not James Harris, but Hayward's interview today?
Yeah, I did.
And that was
I did.
right now that what that tells me is he's already pissing people off in the locker room. You know?
He
He's alienating people in that locker room already.
because I mean, Cam Hayward is captain of this team. He's a leader of
Yeah.
this team. So I mean, like, yeah, like like none of this ayahuasca crap. Get out of your darkness retreat is what he like. I'm
Yeah.
paraphrasing, obviously, but
Yeah.
that's what he was saying. Now, yes, he's but let's not forget something, right? Cam Hayward is on a podcast, so he's on an interview saying this. So who is he talking to? Cam Hayward is talking to whoever the person is in front of him, but
Right.
but the both of them are talking to the mass. So it's the mass, it's us, two, Sniper, the mass, fans of the game, the narrative, the public, that's saying, well, okay, well, depending on what Aaron Rodgers does, then we could, like, okay, in other words, what I'm trying to say is Aaron Rodgers, we think he's holding it up. And
Right.
we've created that. And it makes for it makes for good story, and it makes for a good narrative because it's giving us something to talk about. But on the flip side to that, it's probably not the full blown reality. Now we are talking about a very specific person here. We are talking about Aaron Rodgers, who has, I mean, like not his entire career, but like at least the last several years, 4, 5, whatever.
Last 5 years, he's
when he really, yeah, right, when he started to, like, screw around with Green Bay, and when when he went on this darkness retreat, when he went to Peru, then this whole thing with the Jets, then he got hurt. So yes, 5 years sounds about right. So he's been front and center. He's been attention. Not that he's seeking it, but he's just been a magnet for it. Now,
bastards, what he is.
Look, there's definitely an element to that as well.
Yeah.
He marches to his own drummer, marches to his own music that he's listening to on the beach, wherever that beach was. But the fact of the matter is, depending on what he decides, is now going to allow for a domino effect where now we could kind of now better predict, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We could deduct. We could use logical deduction, like, for argument's sake, if he goes to the Vikings, that puts all the teams that are in line for him right now still needing a quarterback. Now,
I think they have backup plans. I think, and
of course they have backup
which
plans.
In my opinion, which I respect, they should tell Rodgers go pound sand. Go Canadian football. You want to play football more? Go to CFL. Go UFL.
Well,
bless them with your presence. Go with Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston. Get your quarterbacks in the draft. And move forward, because they're stuck. They're stuck in limbo, and that's BS.
See, Sniper brings up a pretty decent point. When he was elite, in his elite years, people allowed it. So that would be like the front office personnel, team owners, and us. We all allowed it. So he got used to it. Well, I'm sure he got used to it, but here's the other part too. Here's the top portion of that part. He thinks he's still elite.
He thinks he's still elite, yeah.
He thinks he's still elite. So
you hear that? You hear that noise?
I hear. It sounds like wood.
That's Father Time knocking on the damn door. It's the damn thing in.
Sounded like wood. Yeah.
It is.
Go a little bit early, guys. I have to figure out this FFPC platform. That's gonna be hard than the actual draft. The FFPC platform. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Couldn't tell you. I guess it's not like Sleeper, huh? You'll figure it out, Sniper. You'll figure it out. I wish you the best of luck. Once we are done here, I will head over to Fantasy and Frames. I will see how many people that you sniped, how your team is stacking up. Remember, free. I don't know. I'm sure their ADP hopefully is adjusted at this time. It probably is if it's best ball. Remember, guys, dudes that had really, really good seasons last year may have hit their ceiling already. So there could possibly be some regression depending on who we are thinking about. One comes to mind right now. Two come to mind right now. Two guys that got fantastic contracts over the weekend, broken by Jordan Schultz of the Athletic, also of FS1. Schefter was sleeping. I found that hilarious. Tom Pelissero had to make the second tweet after Schultz. Ian Rappaport wouldn't do it. Remember, there's a problem between the two.
Yeah.
So Tom Pelissero now then confirmed it off of Schultz, but Schultz is just as good as the two of them, Schefter and Schefter was sleeping. Schefter didn't. ESPN slept on that.
Not the first time.
Good for Jordan Schultz and good for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins that got the bag. That got the bag, both bags. I have major competition. I saw some of those names there, Sniper.
Same here.
I saw some of them. I think you're major competition. You're major competition. Remember, and this is for fun also. It's always for fun until you put like $1,000 into a pot.
It's not.
That is serious. But you're going to do fine. Hell, like, if it was me, I don't know. This would be like one of those like warm-up leagues. It'd be a warm-up league for me. In any event, have a great event.
Yep. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. All right. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they got the bag. And the Cincinnati Bengals now have one mission to do left. They have one mission to do, and that's to bring in their defensive end, Trey Hendrickson. And I think they're going to be able to do that too.
Well, let's see. I know they had the asking price for him in trades was pretty astronomical from my understanding, but I'd read on different sites. Even if they do get Trey Henderson, they're going to need to kill the draft. They're going to need to kill the draft heavily on defense and offensive line because offensive line isn't that great either. So a lot of money tied in, and it's tied in for two good players that is going to help you win games. But now responsibility be on the GM and the scouting crew to kill the draft.
How many picks do the Bengals have? Let's say, all right, you know what? Forget that. Let's say the Bengals have 7 picks, all 7 rounds. They should only be drafting defense, maybe one other skill position player, maybe a day 3 running back, maybe.
Well, they need offensive line too, so
maybe some offensive line. Well, I'm trying to find my other resource tab of free agent players. Hold on, free agency tracker.
I think I read too that if they would have done this last year, they would save like $100 million combined, something like that.
Oh yeah, well that we know.
Yeah. Good on old Chase. Just say I'll play. And he balled out and he got the money. And it's well-deserved money for him, too. Same thing with T. Higgins. Because T. Higgins could be a wide receiver 1 for any other team, probably.
It's debatable.
I say
he had a really good season. And he missed games. And had a really good season. He's a really good wide receiver. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's very, very talented. He's, but again, it's some of his best ability has not been his availability. But let's cross our fingers that look, they did what I told you, Joe Burrow wanted them.
Oh yeah.
He wanted these two wide receivers done, and it would it would make a lot of sense to figure it out, manipulate it one way or another, whatever you need to do to get Hendrickson back into the building. They don't. There doesn't seem to be that huge of a market for him. Or I mean, like, don't you
No,
think he?
there was teams interested in trading for him, but the Bengals wanted a lot in return, and teams were like, no, nope, not interested. Then I can give it that much for an older.
So the Bengals, they brought back Samaji. They re-signed Gasecki. They re-signed. Yeah, they do need. I wouldn't be surprised if they did draft heavy offensive linemen as well. The only offensive lineman that they brought in or they re-signed was Cody Ford. Other than that, it's been heavy on the defensive line. Defensive end, Cam Sample. Defensive line, which would be interior, B.J. Hill, T.J. Slayton. A linebacker, Oren Burks. Yo, the Bengals saw the same thing that we did. They saw the same thing that the Eagles did to the Chiefs.
Right.
We all know that the Bengals would have to go through the Chiefs or vice versa, being in the same conference. So they saw every team saw the same thing that we did. Every team is going to follow this blueprint. They're going to want to be as strong as possible in the trenches. There's no more of this nonsense of like broken offensive lines for CJ Stroud. No more of that. No more of this. Let's get back to this Aaron Rodgers thing. This is the hot button. Tennessee Titans are on the clock, Rhino.
Right.
They're on the clock. They're not in this waiting stage. They're not. They're going to draft Cam Ward, I think.
I think so too. I think it's going to be either Cam Ward or Abdul Carter, one of the two, or they're going to do a trade. Because I think one thing too about them is they shored up their offensive line, so they might feel that maybe give Will Levis another year, see what he does behind a good offensive line. And then draft, and then just load up on draft picks, and then go, and then give him one more year behind a good offensive line, and then if it doesn't work, then next year's draft class is supposed to be pretty good. There's probably could be 3 or 4 quarterbacks going in the first round next year.
Oh, I mean that's definitely one way they could do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
if you think about look what Houston did. That's what Houston did when they started rebuilding. How they did stuff, it worked out pretty good. I think if the Bears would have gotten Rome Odunze last year, would have gotten Alt, that could have been a different story for Caleb Williams too. But who am I? I'm just
you're your GM.
Yeah,
you're the general manager of the Fantasy Goats.
Yeah,
which is very important. But I think that they're not going to pass by Cam Ward. I just don't. I feel it in my bones. Cam Ward. Again, I mean, we spoke about this the other night. Cam Ward looks really pro-ready. He looks pro-ready. Just, I mean, forget the fact that he has a strong arm. That dude, Joe Milton's got a strong arm too. Right? I mean, yeah. He looks like he knows how to move around.
He's very mobile.
But I don't mean that type of running around, right? I mean like move around in a pocket and then step up and throw. He looks like a guy that I would see on Sunday. He looks that now. If Tennessee's Tennessee may pass that up, and that would again under a different set of circumstances that they could get capital.
Mm-hmm. Let's say the Giants move up and give them they swap picks, so they get the third, and then they get the Giants second and the first next season.
That's a lot.
But
That's a lot.
I know, but you can think about it. Is the Titans already had that? I mean, Levis is serviceable, you know,
Yeah, see, Will
and
Will
Giants have nobody right now.
see. Here's the
Nobody.
thing. I'm
So
good.
that there could be with the Giants and maybe the Jets, maybe not the Jets. They have Justin Fields, but let's say the Giants. There's so much pressure on the GM and the coach to do good this year. Want their job that they might overpay.
I'm glad you brought up Will Levis because like yeah he's like he's the other quarterback under contract,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the only other quarterback under contract. Oh no, I'm sorry, Brandon Allen is under contract. Will Levis don't look like Cam Ward.
No, he doesn't. But I'm just saying,
I'm
if
just
they
I mean
if he's
when
playing behind a good offensive line, he has the time to make the throws. He'll make dumb throws. Then he's serviceable. And then we'll draft the top 5 picks next year.
the Titans also
And then
got
the Giants. The Giants will probably have a top 5 pick. So next year they can have 2 top 10 picks, let's say, and plus a second this year, 2 seconds.
1, 2, 3. They did sign a bunch of guards and tackles. The headline here would be Dan Morgan to a 4-year, $82 million deal.
Yeah.
To be, to for that protection. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't see it, but it's possible. I will acknowledge that is possible. Let's go to number 2 though. Let's go to the Cleveland Browns because I mean, like, look, Kenny Pickett ain't it.
Kenny Pickett, I think now Flacco might be going back.
Kenny Pickett is not it, and I don't think that is their plan either. I mean, like
it's a fail safe.
That's the fail safe, or maybe a stopgap. But I don't even.
Yeah.
But a stopgap would indicate that. I think a stopgap may indicate that there's a possibility of you actually being the game starter.
Well, he's a Super Bowl winner, so.
So like Kenny Pickett ain't it. But
if they bring in Flacco, now there's talk about Flacco going back there.
That's
still a stopgap.
That would be that's your prototypical bridge. That would be your bridge. I suppose Cleveland might can draft another quarterback in a later round. I don't know what kind of. I don't know.
I don't
know what kind of selection that would be.
If they're smart, they'd just draft Shedeur Sanders.
All right. Well, see, now you're speaking our language here because that's another domino. Mm-hmm. So let's say again, Aaron Rodgers, we haven't put in uniform yet. We haven't. But okay, let's just say Cam Ward is one. If Cam Ward goes, I mean, if the Titans do option B, scenario B, like let's say the Abdul Carter route, or a trading down route, that puts Cam Ward now on the board, available.
Yeah, but
and the Browns aren't going to pass that up.
No, but I think the Browns, what stuff I've read online is the Browns have Shedeur Sanders rated higher than Cam Ward.
How is Shedeur rating the Browns?
How's Shedeur rating the Browns? What do you mean?
Yeah. How is he rating?
I think. Well,
I don't think he wants.
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what I've read. I'm just telling you what I've read. And it wouldn't surprise me. Freaking Cleveland thought that because anyway, I'll just leave it at that. But I've seen that Shador could fall all the way to freaking into the 20s too.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
but I've seen mock drafts from I think it's NFL.com today. Might have been Daniel Jeremiah, one of them. They had Cam Ward, Shador Sanders, and Jackson Dart going 1, 2, 3.
I have not seen that, but I have seen Shador fall on some. I've seen Shador fall on that, that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 type of area. I've seen that. I've seen. I have. I haven't seen Shador 1 and 2, but I've seen Shador to the Giant. I've seen again. So I suppose we've seen it all.
Yeah, we've seen it all. You know,
But let's say the Browns. Let's say they bring in Flacco. Let's say they stick with Kenny Pickett. Let's say they bring back Jameis Winston.
you think if they were going to bring back Jameis Winston, they would have brought him back already. I don't think he fit. I don't think he fit their scheme.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
But he had a good meeting with the Giants.
him and Neighbors would be magic, man.
Yeah, I'm sure they would be. And I guess kudos, but it's not kudos again because that goes back into me saying like these teams they're not the ones that are creating this. Oh, we're not. I mean they are waiting, but they're not like. They're not sweating, or they're not nervous. They're not anxiously waiting. They're monitoring.
Yeah, from what I've read, Steelers and Giants both have offers on the table for Rodgers, but Rodgers is waiting for that the Vikings, you know.
He's waiting for the Vikings. Yeah, I know he's waiting for the Vikings. We all know that. And I'm not sure. Well, I am kind of sort of sure what the Vikings are doing. The Vikings are now going within their entire organization, making absolutely 100% sure with everybody. I'm talking about everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That are you on board with it? And B, what does this look like if it doesn't work? Is JJ McCarthy, is he ready? Now we don't know 100% whether it's a fact or not. We think that he is, but again, we're speculating just last week that I don't think they believe he's ready. Maybe upstairs ready.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Forget about the physical that he's recovering from an ACL. And maybe whatever. Cut ligament somewhere. Something tore. But like maybe it would make sense. Quessy. It's a great name, right, for a general manager, Quessy? Yeah. That's a great name. Quessy, what do you think? Do you think he's ready? Well, I don't know. You're the quarterback guru. You're the whisperer. What do you think? Well, that tells me everything I need to know right there. I think he is. Now, here's the problem. As much as they are probably toying around with bringing in Aaron Rodgers, you know what else that really means aside from that ego, aside from that circus, aside from Rodgers,
mm-hmm.
who? How do you know? How do we all know? How does he know that he can even work in that playbook?
Right, or he'll let them coach him. You know,
It's been his offense for the last 15 years, more or less. It's been his offense.
yeah.
Now, okay. Now I'm not suggesting or implying that he wouldn't be able to learn it. But you're just adding that on his plate. Okay. Aside from getting timing down with everyone else, Jefferson and Addison and Hawkinson, like I'm sure that'll probably just like snap of a finger, like click within a game or two, a practice or two.
Yeah, Mike's. I don't think that system's too far off from the Mike before. You know,
I do. Let's not forget that's not the LaFleur offense is not Rodgers.
but Rogers played for Green Bay when LaFleur was coach.
Well, part of the major problem was how he didn't want to like capitulate to LaFleur's offense, or
Then
he
why
just,
go? Then
or
why go?
he
It's
just
all. I
did
mean,
what
it's
he.
all the Niners, the Rams, the Vikings, and Green Bay all have the same
Yeah,
variation of the
the
same
the variances, yes, but like let's not forget, but LaFleur, how many years was LaFleur and Rodgers together? Not many.
2 or 3.
Yeah, but and what else is Rodgers really really good at? You know,
Being a jackass.
besides that, he just does what he wants at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but Rodgers. I mean, okay, so it's not called the Rodgers Coast offense. It's like I'm sure it's some sort of offshoot of a LaFleur's,
Shanahan.
LaFleur, Shanahan,
Mhm.
McVay, yes, and the Vikings, yes, absolutely. Kevin O'Connell is from that offshoot. A lot of formations, different formations, a lot of motion, a lot of motion.
Mm-hmm.
No, again, it's not the shit that he ran in New York last season. I can tell you that
He
much.
tried to.
Mm,
That's why you want Hackett there.
he tried to, but I mean that just like right. That's why he wanted Hackett there. Hackett is his guy,
Mm-hmm.
and the offense that they created.
Yeah.
But again, this is just adding a wrinkle of it. Like I'm sure that this is something that they are, just putting into the bowl. You kick that can. Now you arrive back at the can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, let's. Do you think he'll be able to? Will he be able to take your coaching? So yeah, I think that's probably the biggest, or one of the biggest things that are kind of sort of like holding this entire thing up. Then there's the Steelers.
I think the Steelers stay. I don't think at this point. I think they'd be happy with Mason Rudolph playing, or like I said when we did our mock draft last week, 2 weeks ago when we did our mock draft, and I had Jack start going to the Steelers at 21. I could still see that, and then let's see what happens between him and Mason Rudolph. They'd be fine. Mason Rudolph can manage the game. And all he can get the ball downfield to either one of the hotheads, Metcalf or Pickens. He can hand the ball from Jalen Warren and whoever they draft in the draft, as running back, or Kenneth Gainwell right now.
Kenny Gainwell, baby.
Yeah. So I think Steelers. I don't think Steelers aren't as stressed about because at least they know who Mason Rudolph is. He's serviceable.
He got them a win or two into the wild card round.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, like he is serviceable. He can manage. He knows the offense, I guess. Well, I mean, that's not their long-term answer, but
but it gives them the flexibility to draft a Jackson Dart at 21 and then not be pressured him starting week 1.
It would. It would. That's presuming that Jackson Dart falls to them.
Yeah.
That's the only, that's the risk. Will Jackson Dart be there? Again, just like Shedeur Sanders, I see him being pushed up. Then there's also some that think that he shouldn't have a first round grade either.
Yeah. I think he should have a first round grade.
So I mean that's kind of fascinating. So like here, right? Okay, great. He shouldn't have a first round grade. So the Pittsburgh Steelers might be saying to themselves, "Oh yeah, we should be able to get a quarterback in the next round." They don't have a second round pick.
Yeah.
You know why they don't have a second round pick? Because they have a second wide receiver that does the same thing that George Pickens does. Only he's stronger than George Pickens.
Yep.
On the law, I'd like to see this team collapse, but they're not gonna. They're not. They won't. They're the Steelers. They won't collapse. I would love for them just to not. How about don't go 10-7?
Yeah.
They don't have a roster right now that is going to get them to the conference championship.
No.
So it's either they're gonna maybe sneak in again, or what would be much better off for the Steelers, as a matter of fact, is just like nail it in. Get a top 10, top 12 pick for I know it's kind of not in your DNA, but this ain't working out the way it is, or the way it has been. It's not working out. Jaylen Warren is not going to work out for you. He's not your.
He's just like Mason Rudolph. He's serviceable as your RB1 right now. That's why if they don't draft a quarterback at 21, they'll draft a running back.
I'm not even sure he's serviceable as an RB1 or to take on a feature type of work.
Well, evidently they think he is. So
don't be surprised if we see him splitting with Kenny Gainwell, or they may draft a running back.
Yeah, if they draft a running back,
or they're going to draft a running back. It's just a matter of which running back and how high do they value him? Do they like him? How well does that running back impress them?
It's Arthur Smith,
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
Look how much like Tyler Algier compared to Bijan Robinson 2 years ago. Yeah, they're down there splitting carries.
Yeah, so Jaylen Warren might get 15 touches a game. 15 touches a game. Saquon's getting 25 touches a game. Is a big difference, but those additional 10. I think that Rodgers will. Where do I want to see Rodgers go, and where is he going to go?
Toronto Argonauts.
Toronto Argonauts.
Yeah.
Well, you might as well retire.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to. He thinks that he's still got something left in the tank. He also does not want to go out the way he went out last season with the Jets. I can understand that. I wouldn't want to either, but I don't think he's going to get his way with Minnesota.
I don't think so either.
Can you imagine this Vikings team won 14 games? Could you imagine this dude that they're like 3-3? They're 3-5, and they have to turn to JJ McCarthy, and he's now on the sideline. I bet you they're having that conversation. Are you going to be okay with this?
Yeah.
Let me get back to. I don't know. That's the honest answer. I'm not sure if I will be, or the Steelers. Matt 3-5, 5-5, 5-8. 6-8, and could you imagine his legacy going down like that with the Steelers? He's going to take the Steelers down with him.
He might. That's not. I mean,
now
can you imagine him and Arthur Smith on the sidelines together? No.
Nope. I can't. I think Arthur Smith is going to have to go up to the booth. Now we're on.
Even up to the booth, he'll, Rogers will just look up at him, with
and
his
he'll,
like,
and he'll start
give him the FU eyes.
and he'll start doing his own thing. That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't see DK Metcalf being able to do anything close to what Devontae Adams could do, but I bet you George Pickens could be a little bit more teachable if he starts getting fed. George Pickens is going to have to get fed if he's in a contract year. He's going to have to behave and not throw a fit. He's going to have to try to do as much as possible to get the ball. I bet you he's a little bit more coachable. I'm not suggesting that he's anywhere close to Devontae Adams, but I bet you, look, this is what me and Devontae would do. If you see this guy leaning this way,
Right.
so on and so forth. Now, we were just talking about legacy of the team, legacies of the player, Rodgers. What team is there out there that they might that a losing season isn't going to be that out of the question right now?
What team out there?
Right now, presently constituted. Right now, what team? With realistic expectations of your season.
Other than the Browns and the Giants.
The Giants.
Right.
It's the Giants. Now, I think if you were in that building, a fly on the wall with Mara and Shane and Dable, they would be suggesting, look, I think we could get this team to 10, 11 wins with this guy and this guy and this guy, as long as if the chips are falling. But it's going to take a lot. We may need 2 years if we're going to do it with Jameis Winston. If we're going to get Aaron Rodgers, we have to be prepared that this is not a team that we think could win 10, 11 games.
They've already been put on notice that they need to win. The owner has came out and said they need to win. No more free passes.
Okay, but there's a range of outcomes there, though, isn't there? Because of how low the bar went last year, 3 wins, right? So if you had 3 wins last season, and if they get to 7 wins,
gone.
I don't know about that.
I think they're gone.
I don't know about that. Maybe.
When was last year they're relevant? 4 years ago?
22.
Okay, so 3 years ago.
They won that playoff game in Minnesota with Daniel Jones and Saquon.
Okay, so 3 years ago. And they just gone downhill. So 7 wins, that's not going to be enough.
It'd be an improvement.
I don't think so. I think 9 wins would be barely enough for them to keep their jobs. They need to make the playoffs. It's not. You're not talking about the freaking Cowboys, who the owners just wants to make money, and doesn't really freaking care if they make the playoffs. He'll blame it on somebody. He'll blame it on Prescott. He'll blame it on the coach. He'll blame it on somebody. They're done, At least I don't see it. I think they've worn out their welcome, and I think, especially as loud as the fan base is about it,
they're not as loud as you think. They're not. No, I'm serious. It's not as loud as you think.
You would know more because you're from the area, so.
Remember, you've got 2 teams as opposed to a fan base of Steelers or a fan base of Dallas fans across the whole country. You've got two teams in one city, or one tri-state. But
I will say this though. I will say this. I think Rogers would be able to handle being coached by Brian Dable better than any other coaches out there. I do think that.
not Tomlin,
Huh?
not Tomlin.
No. No. Being coach like OC as OC because he's Dable's basically the OC,
Yeah,
right? So he'll have a better chance to get along with that with him than with Arthur Smith
yeah.
or maybe even KOC.
I think. I mean, you could also. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I see Brian Dable and him being able to get along. I do.
Because I could see Brian Dable and him sitting opposite and going, okay, looking at film, and then Aaron Rodgers going, well, if we did this differently, and Brian Dable going, yeah, I see that. Let's do that. I don't see Arthur Smith doing that at all.
That shit's fascinating.
Yeah.
One person. Remember, one person. I don't think it's going to be the Giants, and I feel like the Giants are like third on the pecking order. Third pick of the draft, third in this order. So then the Giants, let's say he does. Let's say he chooses the Steelers. He's going to go to Pittsburgh. Vikings don't want him.
No.
They are going to put all their chips in on the rookie. They are ready for it. They don't want this drama. He's going to Pittsburgh, and they could still possibly get Dart.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good scenario for them. And they got Mason Rudolph. Great. Congratulations. The Giants. Let's say it does go. Cam Ward. Sheperd is going to Cleveland. The Giants. Now they've got a luxury pick. They got a luxury pick. Yeah. If it's the first two quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
The Giants get Travis Hunter. Or Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Travis Hunter.
Or offensive tackle.
That's not sexy.
You
gotta
only have to be sexy. Sometimes it just needs to be freaking right.
You gotta do a little sexy.
You can do sexy in the second and third. That's a problem sometimes with these GMs. They think like that instead of drafting what they actually need.
If you were just grading the players, like an RAS, relative athletic score, like Travis Hunter, like the highest graded player on of this class. Can you imagine if he falls to 3? You're taking the best player in the draft at 3.
He can't block. He can't tackle. He can't freaking sack a quarterback. He can run routes and guard receivers.
Remember,
they already have a pretty decent secondary.
Do we? Do they? We associate myself.
Wasn't bad. The secondary wasn't bad.
I know they let.
If they did anything, they probably draft Abdul Carter at number 3.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
I don't see him doing Travis Hunter.
I wouldn't be mad at Abdul Carter. Pair him up with.
They got to draft what they need. They can't draft the sexy. They need to draft what they need. Let me luxury to do that.
Let me share some of their free agent signings, because I know a lot of this whole entire class, right, was more or less linemen, both sides of the ball. The Giants signed Jeremiah Ledbetter to a 1-year deal. Roy Robertson Harris 2-year deal. Chris Board, a 2-year deal. Paulson Adebo. I mean, have you heard of any of these guys?
Yeah. Robertson's, I think, is defensive tackle.
Javon Holland, safety, is 3-year deal, $45 million. Yeah, they could certainly use another guard or a tackle. It looks like.
Yeah, because Evan Neal, they drafted 3 years ago as a pound out worth of shit.
Now let's not forget. Abdul Carter is an edge, correct?
Mm-hmm.
They signed Chauncey Goldston to a 3-year deal. They have Burns. They have Kayvon Thibodeau.
Right.
I'm melting.
You're good.
No, I'm not. So that's why I don't know if it's Carter. I just don't know if it's Carter.
No, we'll see. I think it's Carter or an offensive tackle, one of the two.
That didn't help.
No, just kind of just sit still a little bit, refocus back in.
Or we're just gonna close up shop.
All right. But I need to say something though, because we talked about this earlier. Jordan Mason to the Vikings.
Oh, okay. Please.
Okay, so this is my take. I think they should trade CMC, kept Jordan Mason, and had him and Isaiah Correndo be lightning the thunder. They would save money. They need to save money. They don't have that much money, so they would save money. They gotten probably better than 6th-round draft choice for Jordan Mason. And Jordan Mason did good.
It was a pick swap and the 6th-round pick next year.
Yeah.
Not even this year, but yeah.
I think they've been better off, and then they could have drafted a running back in the whatever.
I want to
fifth round.
I want to spend another show going over the Niners.
Oh, that should be fun.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do.
Yeah, you'll make comments to me about being biased.
I mean, we'll put a pin in that. But what did I say to you? And we'll leave it at that. What did I say in that text message?
I can't remember. That was Sunday, dude.
Okay, well, now I remember because of the conversation based on Mason. Familia.
Yeah.
CMC's family. And they're not moving off of CMC. We'll just leave it at that.
I'm just saying they've been better off doing that.
And here's the other thing.
That's between like them and the Rams.
Here's the other thing. And not to say that you're totally out of this planet, like Sonny and the other astronaut who were gone from this planet for months and came back today. I'm not saying that, but Mason, if Shanahan's trading you, Shanahan don't like you. He doesn't want you. Think about this. They kept Elijah. They kept Elijah.
That makes sense because he balled out. He was like RB1 in the first part of the season.
Couple of games. A few.
Oh, all right. Well,
he had a shade a couple of ticks under 1,000 yards for the season.
That's because CMC came back, and then plus he was hurt too.
He was banged up a little bit with his shoulder, yeah.
And then the ankle.
He was a shade under 1,000, a few touchdowns. Shanahan's like, yo, look, man, we're gonna get ourselves another running back. We don't need him. I can't believe they kept Elijah Mitchell around that long.
Yeah.
They kept him around longer. You want to talk about injured? Elijah Mitchell lands in the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, again, fascinating to me. Fascinating. But we're going to see the Chiefs and the Niners. We'll address another 4 teams We did 4 today. We did the Titans. We did the Browns.
Right.
We did the Giants, and we did the Steelers down the board. Let's do another 4 teams. How free agency has impacted what that teams or what they're thinking about doing in the draft. That's what we're going to do. What do we got coming up on Thursday? We got a mock draft?
Mock draft. Yep.
It's fantastic news.
2-round mock draft.
Fantastic news. All right, folks. It's been real, been fun. Thank you.
Be a difference, make a difference.
Be a difference and make a difference always. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Subgo.
Yes, please. Tell a friend.
Thank you very much.